mixtape
Yeah.
Teezy versus your last name. Was Mike Teezy something where it was like your Superman moment where it was like finally
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Clark Kent? People
Yeah.
don't have to know Clark Kent; they can know Superman kind of vibe.
Exactly. So, like I said, I was making Tyree versus Teezy when I got to college, and like I said, my friend from high school, he's the one that gave me the name. Like I never was like I'm gonna be a rapper. I never thought that. I was just just dancing. But he was like, "Yo, you dance like Chris Breezy. I'm gonna start calling you Mike Teezy."
Oh wow!
It just stuck. You know what I'm saying? From there, so everybody was just calling, "Hey Teezy, yo Mike, yo Teezy, yo." It just stuck from there, literally. So I get to college, and that was the nickname people knew me by. It was Mike Teezy, Mike Teezy. And so I was like, man, I'm about to start this rapping thing. I'm gonna just keep the name Mike Teezy, like I'm just go crazy. And so that's what I did. I started making the mixtape, just trying to, like I said, find myself, find my sound, and in the midst of doing that, I was just testing out like different genres. I didn't really have a voice to sing. I had the ear for it, but I couldn't execute. You know what I'm saying at that time.
Yeah.
And so I was mainly just trying to get these bars off. Like I was just rapping, freestyling, doing different things, and literally just trying to find a sound that just sounded good. Because like I said, I was having fun. I was just playing around with this concept or idea of being a rapper. So yeah.
was that something that when you finally like, hey, okay, I'm good at all these things. Like I'm good at singing, I'm good at rapping, I'm good at dancing.
Yeah.
Was it a point where even making music, like was it a point where you was trying to figure out which lane to go through versus being like, man, bump it. I'm gonna use all of them.
Bro, literally where I'm at. So, like, there's been so many people over the years telling me, hey, bro, just stick with rapping, bro. You really can rap. You really got bars. Then I got people that say, no, bro, just sing, bro, because people want to sing. So I'm like, bro, I'm hearing it from both sides. People wanting me to do certain things and make these choices and decisions. And I'm the type of person, like, I don't want to box God in. You know what I'm saying? I feel like God can use any capacity, anything that I'm good at, any gift that he's given me to get the glory. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to continue to do it all. I'm going to keep rapping. I'm going to keep singing. I'm going to keep, just creating this music that God has given me because it's not just for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's people that are attached to my rapping. There's people that's attached to my singing. There's different people's breakthroughs attached to either one of those things too. So I'm just like, man, I got to be faithful. I got to be diligent. I got to keep going, you know what I'm saying, with the gifts that God gave me. Like,
but was one of those gifts, do you even find out like now that like even singing open doors that once you get in rapping be like, oh, I didn't know he rapped too, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's people that have discovered me based off of one or the other. You know what I'm saying? People that have found me from rapping. But one of my my first viral videos was me singing.
Yeah.
So that's what blew my mind because people was telling me, bro, just stick with rapping. Around this time, they was just like, yo, just stick with rapping. Wow. And I had made this little remix to, I think it was Chris Brown, Under the Influence. And that joint went crazy, like over 2 million views on Instagram, 1 million and some odd views. It was like crazy to me because I'm like, yo, like I've been rapping all these years, but people want the singing now. So I'm like, okay, I got people telling me I should stick to rapping, but the singing joint worked. I got people telling me I need to keep singing. So I'm like, okay, which one do I do? And somebody actually was trying to book me for a show. I think it was last year or the year before. And they were like, yeah, so we want Teezy to come, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if does he rap too? I'm like, what y'all think he just sing? Like what? Yeah, we saw a video of him sing. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of people that don't even know all the things that I do. And I'm like, man, I've been showcasing all this stuff for years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been rapping for years, I've been singing for years, I've been dancing for years.
Yeah.
And it's like people still don't know. So when I pull up and do a show at their church or at the event, venues, whatever it is, and I start dancing, people go crazy because they're like, I didn't know Teezy could dance. And I'm like, yo, I got to showcase this even more because I tell my testimony about being paralyzed twice.
Yeah.
And people are like, yo, he's dancing. He shouldn't be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, like I said, there's so many people that are connected to different parts of Teezy or different parts of, who I am as an artist. And I'm like, yo, I still got to keep showcasing it all because like one day somebody's going to realize, okay, he's the same guy that did the rapper song about Forgive Him. He's the same guy that did the Under the Influence of this song. And they're just going to tie it together. So I'm going to just for real.
Yeah. I want you to go back to the part of like you said on the mixtape, that you was that you talked about God, right? Was you a believer back then? Like, was you sold out to Jesus and like this is the mixtape gonna be?
So this was I'm a PK. My parents are pastors, you know what I'm saying? So I knew church, you know what I'm saying? Like that was mainly what I knew. I was a church boy, you know what I'm saying? But the thing was, like I said, I knew church, but I didn't know God for myself. Gotcha. And so around this time is when I'm still trying to figure out and find who I am, but also find out who God is too. So I would say different things like, I think I had a song on there. It was called Never Forgotten. And so that was like, I don't even tell people like that was my first song that I actually wrote like that because I didn't really consider it a great song, but people was locked in with it. And so, like I said, I had a ton of remixes on there. And then I had this one song that was Never Forgotten. And I low-key still remember the verse, but I ain't gonna say it right now. But I was just talking about how I'm never forgotten or forsaken. And, I was talking about, how God will never, leave you nor forsake you. Like I was literally talking about that in this song. But in the other remixes, I might say the N-word, or I might say, just different things.
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to say, bro? Like, what are you really presenting to us? Like, what is going on? Like, what is your message? And so just like I said, finding myself, figuring out, what I wanted to talk about in that time. And I still didn't know. Like, I was still just playing around with stuff. And so, like I said, when I got that call that my friend was killed, that literally was what I needed. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, my friends had left. So we was about to go on Christmas break. And like all of my roommates had left. And I was in the house by myself. And my parents was on their way to pick me up. And I was just praying and crying. And, just crying out to God. I'm like, yo, God, like that could have been me. Like we the same age, this, we that. Like, that could have been my life. That could have been me walking down the road. And in that moment, I didn't really know, what I'm saying, what else to do. But I just started crying out and ended up writing this song called Show Me Your Way. And it was like a worship song. And I'm like, man, I'm not a worship artist. I'm not this, I'm not a singer for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really think that I had a voice for singing. But I just wrote this song. And I was just saying, show me your path, oh God, show me your way. Like, it was just a lot of different things that I was asking God for. I was like literally pleading for God to show me his way. And even as a kid, like I would pray these prayers of, God, I want to hear your voice. God, I want to hear what your voice sounds like. Like, talk to me, like, talk to my parents. Like, I was always seeking after God. And I felt like he didn't want nothing to do with me because I never heard his voice. I never, discovered. So that's stuff that had me questioning, like, God, are you real for real? Even though I had so many, different testimonies and miracles where God moved in my life, I still was questioning God because I wanted to hear his voice. I wanted to hear his voice like clear as day. I'm hearing your voice. I wanted that, what I'm saying, relationship. And so I'm just pleading. I'm crying. I wrote this song. My parents finally show up to pick me up, and I get in the car and I was like, yo, mom and dad, I got a call that one of my friends got killed, but I made this song like right before y'all picked me up. So I started singing it to them, and they start crying. Wow, son, like, man. And like I said, my dad was a writer as well. Like my dad still writes music and stuff too. And just hearing, his insight on like what he felt about what I was writing. And he actually took it up another notch. And he was like, give me direction, Lord, that I might see your glory shine through me. And it took the song to the next level. There yet, like sonically, I didn't even know how to create this song. I'm just like singing melodies, like just like, yo, God, this is my prayer. Like this is how I started communicating with God, like just through song. And so that was literally the start of it all, man. Like from there, just started, diving into it even more. And like I said, we was around Christmas break, and I finally made the decision to rededicate my life to God. And so from there on, I was still trying to do this dancing thing. And like, I think we talked about this before, like on Track Stars, but like I had my mind set on, I still wanted to dance. Like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a dancer for God. I was like, is that even a thing? Like, can people do that? You know what I'm saying? And so I get back to college. I tell my friends, I was like, yo, I rededicated my life to God. I feel like we can still do this dance thing. We can still keep the crew and everything, but let's do it for God. And they was like, okay, that's fire, bro. Let's do it. and nobody, you know what I'm saying, really wanted to lock in with me and really do that joint. So, and at that time, like I said, I was mainly dancing to like, you know, Kirk Franklin, Ty Tribbett, Jay Moss, Mary, like just different ones like that. But
Yeah.
I was really tapped in with the hip hop and R&B songs. Like that's what I wanted to dance to.
Yeah.
And so, like after this is like way after Tyree versus Teezy, way after like I started creating, I started working on another mixtape, and this one was called Putting God in the Mix.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was still doing the Christian remixes, and that's why I was doing them. I was mainly just trying to do them for myself so I could dance to them.